I'm Veronica and welcome to Jersey City Pilates. For today's class, you're going to need light weights, optionally. Under 5 pounds is perfect, and we're going to focus a bit on side body, moving unilaterally as well, and we will get started cross-legged when you are ready. And then just take a nice big inhale and stack your spine up nice and tall on your exhale. And make sure that your shoulders are over your hips, and also that your head isn't jutting forward. You want to think like someone's just gently giving your ponytail or the back of your head a little tug to pull you nice and tall. From here, you're just going to nod your chin down towards your chest and roll it over towards the right shoulder, sort of dragging your chin along your collarbone, getting a little stretch through the left side of your neck. And then back down across your collarbone over to the other side. And then same thing, now getting a stretch across the right side. And then back down over to the right one more time. And then over to the left. Good, and then bring your head back to the center and lift it up nice and tall. Walk your fingertips on your left hand out to the left as far as you can. And take a nice big stretch to start here. And then just take a big breath into your ribs on the right side. Think about opening them up, getting a little bit of space in between. One more time. And then all the way up tall. And then walk your right fingers all the way over to the right and lift your left hand up and over. Really root down through that left sitting bone. And then 2 breaths, really thinking about opening up through the left side of your body. And exhale. Maybe you side bend a little deeper. Really working on your breath rather than the stretch, although they sort of come together pretty nicely. And then come all the way up tall. Bring your hands now either onto your ribs on the side of your ribs, or you can have a hand on your front ribs, a hand on your back ribs, your choice. And just take a nice big inhale and feel your ribs expand into your hands. And then exhale. Feel your ribs sort of draw towards one another, your pelvic floor lift, and your abdominals gently engage. And then inhale, let everything go. And then exhale. Feel the connection and strength that you're gaining through that exhale. One more breath in. Make sure you're keeping relaxed through your legs. They're not tensing up as you inhale. And then exhale. Draw everything in all together. Good. From here, come onto all fours. Starting with your hands right underneath your shoulders, you're going to take a nice big inhale and find length through the front of your body on that inhale. Tailbone reaches away from the crown of your head, but you're not dropping down. You're staying supported through your abdominals. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone under, draw the hips up towards the ribs and round towards the spine, or towards the ceiling. And then on your inhale, come through that extension. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And then back up. And down. 3 more like this, going at your own pace. Arching on that inhale. Last one, exhale, round your spine. Good, and then come back into that nice neutral spine here. And then just let your sternum drop towards the floor. Let your shoulder blades come towards your spine, and then press the floor away with that whole hand as you slide your shoulder blades away from one another into a slightly retracted position. So retraction and protraction. So slide down and lift. 4 more. And as you press up, feel that engagement of all of those little muscles in your shoulder, around it, your lats, supporting your shoulder and your scapula. Last one, and press up. Extend your right leg back behind you and curl the toes over. And then take your left foot and sort of angle it out towards the left edge of your mat. And then you're going to rotate onto that right inner side of your foot, or the inner side of your right foot, and open up into a little modified side plank here, and then reach back down. And then open back up and reach down. So rotating the upper body down. If you'd like, you can keep the hips facing away, just getting a little rotation through the upper back. Mid back. And tap your arm down. And lift. 2 more. And last one. Reach that arm up overhead, take a second for a stretch, and then come back down. Extending your left leg back behind you, send your right foot out to the side, and then you're just going to open up to the left. And same thing, just tap that left arm down and lift. Hips generally stay facing the front, rotating through your back. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. And last one. Bring that left hand overhead, press up through the right hand and lifting the hip for a nice little stretch, and then come back to all fours. Extend your right leg out again. And this time you're going to extend your left arm and float your arm and leg up, and then tap them down and keep reaching away in opposition, and think that that reach floats them off the ground. 4 more. 3, feeling the connection across your body diagonally, so from that left rib to your right hip for 2. Last one. Lower your left arm down. Your elbow will be right underneath your shoulder, and your hand can be facing the floor or in a fist, whatever is more comfortable. And you're just going to tap your right leg down and lift it up. And tap it down and lift. Your right arm is also helping to stabilize you here. 4 more. 3. 2. Last one, leave that leg lifted. You're going to sweep it back behind you, and you're going to bend the foot at the knee and then extend it long. Bend at the knee and extend for 6. Keeping that hip nice and open. Keep thinking about gently pressing back from the back of your leg for 3, 2, and last one. Extend that leg long. You're going to lower it down, sweep it forward, up, back, and around. So make the range of motion for your circle whatever size. You can stay nice and stable through the rest of your body. You don't have any clicking. It should feel good, although it may not feel good on the muscles, but good on the joints. 2 more in this direction. Last one. And then pause and reverse. So forward, down, back, and up. 7 more. Keep thinking about using your breath to help engage through the core. Arms are pressing into the floor. Neck is nice and long. 3, 2, and last one. Bend that knee underneath you. And then from here, with your legs, or your knees rather, both bent, you're just going to open up to the side like you're a dog on a fire hydrant and back down. And lift it up and down. 6 more. Using your breath here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then you're going to lower that leg all the way down and press up into all fours again. I'm going to spin around the other side. So from here, extend that left leg long, right arm long, lifting the arm and leg, reaching away from one another, tap it down and lift and lower. Hips are staying nice and square to the floor, using that right shin and left hand to help stabilize you. Elbow is soft. 3, 2, last one. Leave that leg lifted. Put your right arm on the right forearm on the ground, elbow underneath your shoulder. And then you're going to open your hips a little bit out to the left side, and then tap that left leg down and lift for 8, 7. Using your breath here. Again, that left arm is also helping to stabilize you. Neck is long. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Leave your leg lifted. Press it slightly back just so that you're really open through the hip and you're not in hip flexion. Bend at the leg, bend at the knee, and then extend. And then bend it in and extend. For 6, 5, 4, 3, using your breath. And last one, leave that leg long. You're going to sweep it down, back, and up for circles for 8, 7, 6. You may find that your right leg is nice and tired now from the stabilizing and already having worked. For 3, 2, last one, pause at the top and reverse your circle. So down, forward, back, and up for 8, 7. Again, whatever size circle you're doing, you want to stay more or less stable through the torso, and this should feel good. Your hip just kind of gliding around in the hip socket. For 3, 2, last one. Bend that knee and bring it back next to the other leg. And then from here, you're just going to open your left leg up to the side like a fire dog on a fire hydrant. Not the actual fire hydrant, that would be difficult. And open up for 8. 5 more. 3, 2, and last one. And then lower that leg down, press yourself back up to all fours, and then take a nice cat-cow here. And around your spine. One more time. And curl it up towards the ceiling. And then bring your knees nice and wide and sit back onto your heels. Reach your fingertips forward and drop your forehead on the floor. Good. Really think about breathing into your ribs, trying to expand them wide to the side and also a little bit up to the ceiling. One more breath here. Good. And then come all the way up onto a seat or into a seat. All right. So come onto your knees and you're going to have both weights in your hands. And if you'd like, you can put both weights into one hand if you want it to be a little bit heavier, although my recommendation would be just one weight in each hand. What I said didn't make sense. You only need one weight, but if you want both weights in one hand, there we go. Speaking is hard. All right, so you're in a nice tall kneeling position. Your tailbone is gently tucked under, you're up tall. So your shoulders are right under your hips are right over your knees, and your legs are pressing gently into the ground to help keep you up tall and nice and stable. Bring your right elbow to a 90-degree angle, and you can have your palm face up or face the left, either one, and you're just gonna externally rotate that arm and bring your elbow stays by your side, hand out to a 45-degree angle, and then resist to bring it back in to that 90. And then out to the side, and then just to 90. And then to the side, and 90. Again, the range of motion is only so much that your shoulder is moving nice and smoothly in your shoulder. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. And then you're gonna bring it into the 90-degree angle. Now you're gonna rotate your palm up towards the ceiling. And you're gonna press that arm straight out in front of you, feeling the resistance through your core to help keep you nice and stable as the heavier weight goes away from your body. Try to resist sending your hips either back or arching as you come back. Staying up nice and tall for 6. Keep thinking about keeping your shoulder blade nice and neutral and focus on opening up through the elbow. 3, 2, last one. Pause with that arm long, soften the elbow and rotate the palm to face in. Open out to the side and then resist to bring it back in. The weight should be below shoulder height, so you're doing a little bit of a single arm hug a tree here. Good. Again, thinking about being up nice and tall, feeling the engagement through your abdominals as they resist that weight traveling away from your body by breathing. The most important. 2 more. Last one, resist to bring it in, palm to the ceiling, bend that arm in. From here, bring your right palm towards your left hip, and you're gonna think about lifting up through the elbow and then resist back down, as though you're starting a lawnmower. And of course, if you only have 1 or 2 pounds, this may not feel very hard. That's okay. Focus on trying to create that resistance and keeping yourself nice and stable. 2. Last one, like this. So now you're gonna do that same motion, but you're gonna rotate your palm to face away from you and extend your arm in like a victory kind of position, palm to the chest, and then back down. And slowly pull up, flip the palm, and reach the arm up. Although the shoulder is obviously working nice and hard, you're not reaching the shoulder up towards your ear to do any of this. It's more of a gentle glide in the joint. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good, and then lower that arm all the way down. Come onto your knees one more time, and then you're gonna plant your left hand on the floor, and you're gonna fall out into a modified side plank here. Reach that top arm up towards the ceiling, and if you wanna do this on your forearm, that's totally fine. You're gonna resist as you lower that arm straight in front of you, and then open it back up. You can bring your knee a little closer towards your foot, or even come into a full side plank here if you'd like. I'm gonna go with the side plank or the modified version, and up. 4 more. 3. Softness through that left elbow. Last one, lift that arm up, float your right leg up. You're gonna reach the arm overhead, and you're gonna pull the elbow towards the knee and then extend long. Keeping the elbow towards the knee, and then reach away. Good, 5 more. Thinking about bringing your right rib towards your right hip, adding almost like a little bit of a side bend to that right here. 2 more. And last one. And extend long, reach overhead with the weight, let your head drop the weight if you want, and get a nice big stretch. And then come all the way up. Other side. So now the weight is in your left hand. We're just gonna start with that external rotation. So arm at 90, palm either faces up or to the right, and then you're just gonna externally rotate to the left, 45-degree angle, resist to bring it back to 90. And in, and out, and in. Again, trying to create that resistance for yourself. You can think that your weight is attached to a pulley on your door or your wall. For 3, 2, and last one. Palm to the ceiling, and then reach that arm out. Again, chest is open, thinking about lifting through the elbow as you open the arm. Hand stays below shoulder height. If you were leaning against a wall, the amount of pressure into the wall would not change. 3 more. 2. Just check in on your head, give it a little shake. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Last one, pause with your arm out long, rotate your palm to the right, soft elbow, open out to the side, and resist to come back in. And out to the side, and resist. If you'd like to counter, you can always bring your right arm out to the side for 4, 3, staying open through the hips, 2, last one, and bring that arm in and rotate it down. Good. So left palm to the right hip, and you're just gonna pull that lawnmower, elbow someone behind you, whichever visual works better for you, and back down. And again, creating that resistance for yourself. Good. 5 more. 3. Shoulder stays nice and relaxed, especially as we add on. So hand to the hip, lift up, same motion, and then just rotate your palm to face away from you. Shoulder stays down. And don't think so much pulling the shoulder down, just think about a gentle rotation of the arm in that shoulder socket. 5 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good, and then lower that arm all the way down. Coming onto your right hand now, hand underneath your shoulder, left leg out to the side. Yeah, left leg. And then reach your arm straight up towards the ceiling here. Make sure that your right elbow has a little bit of a soft bend to it. You're not hyperextending. And then you can choose your leg positioning, full plank, modified, or slightly modified as that arm comes down in line with your shoulder. And then resist it back up. And up. And down. And up. 6 more. Trying to keep those hips nice and square to the front. They are not rotating with your arm. For 3. Neck is nice and long. 2. And last one. Reach that arm up. Bring it overhead to lift the left leg up. Bring the knee and elbow together. And then reach long. And up. 4 more. Not 4, 6 more. 5, 4, keep pressing the ground away with that right arm. 2, and last one. And then lower that weight all the way down, but take them with you. You're gonna bring both of them now. Have them by wherever your head's gonna be, and come down onto your back. From here, let your arms come down by your sides and just give yourself a second to sort of melt into the floor here. Tuck the tailbone under, press the feet into the floor, have them relatively close to your back or to your glutes, and then peel yourself up into a bridge, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then slowly peel yourself all the way back down. Really trying to get a nice stretch through the low back as you go down. And again, as you go up. Good. Hips come toward your ribs, shortening that distance. And then back down. Last time, you're gonna stay at the top. Good. Find yourself in a comfortable height where you could hang out here for a moment or 2. And you're just gonna think about tucking the tailbone under a little and then finding neutral. And then tuck the tailbone under and then find neutral. So you can think you're just rotating that pelvis. So you can think that your sitting bones get a tiny closer to your knees and then a tiny bit less close to your knees. 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and then peel yourself all the way down from that curled under position. Release here, and then just press straight up, lift your hips into a neutral bridge. And then go ahead and lower your right hip to the right, left hip lifts, and then square your hips off. And then rotate to the other side and square it off. So just your pelvis is moving, your spine is staying still, your femurs are not so much coming along for the ride. Keep reaching the knees long away from you, like someone's pulling behind them away from your head as the heels reach towards your shoulders. Once more to the left, and then square yourself off. Lower your hips down for just a moment. Grab your weights if you would like them, and you're going to put one in each hand. Start with your arms at a 90-degree angle so that your forearms are off, your upper arm is pressing into the mat. And use the weight in your hands to help you find a nice stable position through the upper arms, through the shoulders, upper back. And then press the feet like you're going to send them through the floor and lift the hips up. And then lift the arms up. And then from here, you're going to lower the hips as you lower the arms. And then press straight up. And then down. And up. So the most important thing here is that you are not pressing your hips so high up with your arms that you're arching your back. You want to stay in a nice neutral or tucked under position, whichever is more comfortable for you to find. For 3, 2. If you find that you're doing that, shorten your range of motion and also drop the weights or take out the arm motion. Last one, pause with your arms and hips lifted. From here, rotate your palms to face away from you. You're going to let your arms fall overhead. Feel the connection and grab from your abs and then bring them back. And let them fall overhead. Your ribs should stay nice and closed. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then lower your hips and lower your arms down. Good. From here, bring your right leg up into tabletop and then your left leg up to meet it. And then your arms are going to come up. Keeping your arms above your shoulders, you're just going to extend the right leg and then resist to bring it back in. So we're staying on that right leg. Bring it back in. Opening up through the back of the leg and resist to come back in. Head stays down. Making sure you're not lifting through that back, your upper back and back ribs are staying on the floor. For 3, 2, and last one. Resist to bring it back in over to the left. Four more. 3, 2, and last one, resist to bring it in. Now you're going to send your right arm and left leg, extend and resist to bring them back in, alternating sides. Again, making sure those back ribs are not lifting off the floor, especially as that arm goes back overhead and the leg extends. Once more to each side. Last one. And then bring the knees in, and then lower the right leg, lower the left. Separate your arms slightly wider than shoulder distance. In your nice neutral position, press down through the arms, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, ribs come towards your hips, and slowly release back down. If you feel this in your neck as you're lifting and lowering, just get rid of the weights. Two more. We're going to stay lifted. And last one, pause here. Keeping yourself lifted, reach a little bit more through the fingertips, lift your arms to your knees, and then press down. Lifting up and press down. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lift the arms all the way up, lower down. Just gonna give myself a little bit of room here. Bring your right leg into tabletop, left leg up to meet it. From here, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Reach your arms by your sides. You're going to extend overhead. Circle the arms around like you're going to give yourself a little hug. And then extend the arms, extend the legs. Ooh. Don't hit the wall. Circle your arms around. Extend and circle. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then bend all the way in, take yourself down, and rock back and forth from one side to the other. You can drop your mats, your weights, and then bring your feet onto the ground nice and wide and just let them windshield wiper from one side to the other. You can bring your hands into a nice cactus position if that feels good, through the chest. Good, and then from here, lengthen your legs long, reach your arms overhead. When your hands come in your peripheral vision, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, bring the ribs towards the hips, and then peel yourself all the way up, reaching over your legs. And stack your spine up nice and tall, and come up off of your seated position. Actually, you're going to come onto, your left hip now, on your forearm, and you're going to stack your legs nice and tall. Nice and tall. Stack your legs, have them bent, and then you're going to lift your top leg up, and then extend it long. And then resist to bring it back in, and extend. And bring it in, and extend. 4 more. Opening through the front of your hip. 3, 2, and last one. And then from here, you're going to kick that leg forward and then point the toe and sweep it back. If you prefer to lay all the way down on your side to do this, that's totally fine. Either way, you have that little bit of thought that you're standing, you're not collapsing into your side. So you're using the ground to press away to keep that side, have a little bit of lift and engagement in the left. And sweep it forward and back. 2 more. Hips stay nice and still, facing the front. Last one. Good. And then bring that leg all the way back in. Feet stay together. You can bring your heels a little bit farther away from your butt if you'd like. And then you're just going to open into that clamshell and then let your knees touch and internally rotate the thigh so the foot will lift. And then open up and internally rotate. And open and internal. Good. Working all those tiny little muscles in the hip. 2 more. And last one. Good. From here, send your knees back a little bit, and then you're going to lift yourself up into a modified plank here. Reach that arm up towards the ceiling. If you want to grab your weight, you can, and you're just going to open up into a clamshell and resist back down, and open up and down. So just think that all that energy you were putting through that left arm to keep your torso away from falling into the floor and relaxing just kind of lifted you up somehow. 3 more. Hips stay more or less square to the front for 3, 2, and last one. Lower both legs, and now you're going to lower your hips and lift your hips, and lower and lift. Think as though you have a hammock or some sort of sling around your hips and you're lowering them down, and then pull them right back up. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then lower your hips all the way down, and then sit yourself all the way up. Separate your legs, so you're going to send your right leg back, left leg forward, so you're in a Z-sit here. And then plant your left hand and bring your right hand to your hip. Use the weight of your, right hand to send that right sitting bone towards the floor. So for me, I'm super tight through my hips, so my left leg lifts a little, that's fine. And then you're going to keep that hand on the hip and think about reaching the hip up and getting a little bit of extension as you rotate. And then think that a magnet is pulling that sitting bone back down towards the floor. Try to resist with that other leg, that it's not lifting as you rotate. And then resist back down and up and down. Last one. Trying to find a little bit more mobility. And then find that connection where that right hip is nice and settled towards the floor, but you can still be more or less upright with some space through the side. And then reach those right arms nice and long, or just grab onto your shin, your choice, and then bring the left arm overhead. Nice side stretch here. And again, breathe into those ribs like we did in the beginning of class, and make sure that you are getting a little bit more space, hopefully. And then come all the way up tall. And then you're going to swing your legs around to the other side, and we will switch. So, left or right forearm on the ground, press the floor away. If you're on your all the way down the floor, that's fine. Same thought process. You are not letting yourself collapse. So, hip away from the rib. Hips are in line this way as well. And then from here, pick that top leg up and extend it nice and long. And then resist to bring it back in. And extend. Bring it back in. Here, you want to make sure you're using your bottom leg to help stabilize you. As you press that leg down, you want to make sure you're not twisting and rotating towards your upper body or through the upper body. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one, leave that leg long. Sweep it forward, hinge at the hip, keep reaching the tailbone back behind you, and then release it back. So flex the foot forward, point, and swing it back. But that distance between the hips and the ribs is not changing. So you're not rounding your back as you bring it forward. 4 more. 3, 2. Neck is nice and long. Last one, bend that leg in. Send your feet back a little. Again, make sure you haven't started to collapse here. And then you're just going to open up into that clamshell and then get that little bit of external rotation, or internal rather. So external and now internal. If your foot doesn't lift at all, that's also fine. Just as long as you're really thinking about getting that internal rotation of the femur. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Okay. Press your forearm into the floor, float your hips up. If you need to adjust your legs, go ahead and come back down and do so. And when you're ready, you're going to open up for a clamshell. Hips are staying square in front for 5. Neck is nice and long. 4, 3, 2. Last one, bring the knees together, drop the hips down for 8, 7, 6, 4 more. 3, 2, and last one, lower the hips down. Send the left thigh back, right thigh forward. So you're in your nice Z sit here, left hand to left hip, and right hand is on the floor. And then just find that pull where you're trying to lower that left sitting bone towards the floor. And then rotate up and around. Hopefully that right leg is nice and relaxed. You're getting that opening through the front of the hip. And then just bring that leg back, or that sitting bone back down. Just take notice of the difference in mobility from one side to the other. It may be inches away from the floor on one side and right there on the other. 3 more. This should feel nice. And last one. Now find that draw down of that sitting bone and then reach the left hand all the way out or grab that shin and bring the right arm up and over for a nice stretch. And then lower that arm down. Come onto all fours. Having your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to send your right foot back and then your left foot back to meet it. And then press gently through the toes, although you're still reaching back through your heels like you're going to peek over the edge of a cliff here. Open through the collarbone and then lift your hips up. Find a downward dog. Bend your knees a bunch if you need, and then you're going to come back and find your plank. If you want to do this on your knees, going back and forth into child's pose, totally a possibility. You could also do down dog to a kneeling plank, and then just lifting the hips straight back up. Do what feels good for you, and lift. And coming down, using the whole hand, pressing through the floor for 3, 2, finding the gentle lift of the abdominals. And last one, stay here. Drop down to your knees if you would like. Then you're going to bend your elbows back by your side, lowering down towards the floor. Press the floor away to bring yourself back up. Inhale on the way down. Exhale up. 6 more. 4, 3, 2. Neck is nice and long. Tailbone gently tucked under. Last one. And then everyone can sit back onto their knees. Bring them nice and wide and find yourself in your last child's pose. And then reach the fingertips really, really far away. Let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. And then just kind of let your arms relax and pull back, recoil a little towards you. Feeling that space in between your shoulders and your ears. And then reach them long. And then bend your right elbow back by your side. And then sweep it so that your right hand is reaching towards your hips. And then send your left fingertips over towards the right. And keep reaching back with that right hand. Both arms are straight, reaching away from one another. Feeling that stretch through your shoulder and your right, or your left side rather. Head is still on the ground. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then bring that right arm over, press into the floor. So both arms are reaching up and over to the right, and then you're pressing into the floor, deepening that stretch, feeling it a little differently here through that left side again. And lift your head if you want here. And then come back through the center. Again, reach really, really, really far forward with your arms, and then just let them recoil, find that space. And then reach long through your right arm, and then slide your left hand back past the hip. And start to walk that left or right hand over to the left hand back. Getting a nice stretch through that right side. Again, reach back with that left hand too. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then bring your left hand back towards your right, staying over to that left side though. Then push the floor away. See if that changes your stretch at all. Head can be lifted here. And then come back through the center and then slowly peel yourself all the way up. Come to sit just how you did when we started. If you remember what foot was in front, cross the other direction. Reach the arms up And then just let the right hand come down, side bend over to the right one last time. And then sway over to the left. And then come back up tall, both arms long, reaching towards the ceiling. Externally rotate to the palms. Feel the feel the humeruses. Your upper arm be nice and heavy in the hip socket. Shoulder socket. Jeez. Press down through your hands. Grow nice and tall through the crown of your head. Hips and shoulders, they're kind of the same. And your arms will find your sides, and you are all finished. Thank you.